a private coaching session today.
Pretty neat.
Thank you. Kai.
Luis, what areas is like South Florida? What is your service areas?
Mm.
Hello?
You got muted.
I muted because I was chewing my apple.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I'm in Palm Beach County.
Palm Beach County.
And I'm a native Floridian. I was born in Miami, and then I moved to Tallahassee, and then I came back down here for civil engineering work. That's what I did for real estate to Broward, and now I'm in Palm Beach County. Excuse me.
That's so good. You have a sunny energy. So that explains it.
Take your camera on, Louise. Come on. You didn't have it on today.
And as soon as I'm done eating my apple, I will.
Man, you're eating healthy. Oh, Tanner.
Good afternoon, Danny. Good afternoon, everyone.
Joe. That's Chicago Joe. Susan's back for some more. Yay. All right, guys, welcome. Let me get my mic down here. I trust you can hear me. Welcome to Recon. Might be seeing this by YouTube, who knows when, Facebook Live. We appreciate you being on. Today is January 26th, and we're going to be doing master level role play. If you're catching us by video on my YouTube channel and you want to join us live, I'll just leave that up for a second while people get settled. I'll throw it back up a little bit later. And I know most people here on the call today are part of our Recon. That's a daily thing that we do from 9:30 to 10 Eastern time. And I will share my thought of the day. And if you were on my Recon, you heard this twice. I think we're missing something if we don't stay ahead of the news, particularly when it might serve us. So here is my thought of the day. A lot of agents think that they can fake the market out. I've got a good friend that sells out west in Phoenix, and he likes his last email, the seller market returns, the seller's market returns. I'm thinking, okay, and what he wants to do is to create activity with his buyers by saying the seller's market's returned. In other words, trying to make the market do something it may not naturally do. Well, the challenge with that is this: when we attempt to manipulate the market falsely, it's going to come back and boomerang on us. For example, if you send that out there and then you go to take a listing, or one of your sellers gets that email that says the seller's market has returned, what do they think? Particularly when you say they're overpriced. So be careful with the message. I like to play it down the middle. And I think a great message to send out: rates are definitely down. And I'm going to post this, and I don't even post. I have somebody that posts for me. I'm actually going to follow the lead. I'm going to post this on my social. Interest rates are lowest since May. Would you like to know more about the market? Now's a good time to buy or sell. Would you like to know more, etc.? And my last point before we go into role play, you guys, is this. About a month ago, I said there was a close by for sale by owner going to sell their home themselves. And I was actually going to go and knock on the door and have a conversation. Because in my career, I don't know that I've ever been proactive about getting an unassisted seller. Well, guess what, guys? I was out walking. They were walking their dogs. I was able to have a conversation. I set up an appointment. We had a second appointment, and today we went live and we have our first showing on a $1.7 million house. So this old dog still can do it. So thank you
Is that your
guys for
neighbor?
helping.
Was that your neighbor's house?
Yeah,
Oh, very well done.
but I didn't know them. And yeah, so anyway, I'm very how do I get okay, very, very happy about that. So let's go. Let's have some fun. Let's get some learning. Let's go deep. All right. And mastery level, you guys, you don't have a lot of time to talk. You guys, I want you now, for particularly the regulars here, I want you to work on your listening skills, because when somebody role plays, I want you to listen and add some input, a little bit of, hey, you did this great. Hey, here's an area of improvement. I want you to work on your listening skills. So fair enough, get your hands up. I don't see anyone having their hands up. I guess you only put your hands up if John's on the call. Why?
I see hands. I see hands up.
All right, Louise, you get to run the hands.
I see Susan's invisible hand. I see
Oh.
Jim Kenny's invisible hand.
Yeah, well, it's nice to see this group, but sometimes there's a lot of people on recon. I can't really. All
Tan.
right, let's go. Tanner, is it Tanner? You're up first, right?
Yes.
And let's go. All right, so Tanner, this is a mastery we can do at the table, or we can do outbound calls. Anything you want. So what's your
I'd like to practice my for sale by owner call again, Danny. You know, I was still stumbling because it's a new one, but I really would like to do that one. I've been working on it.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to have you do first. So Dr. Lauren's having a hard time joining for whatever reason. Here's what I'm going to have you do first. All right, and this is what you can practice, you guys. You're going to call Jan Lee in a second. Jan Lee, he's not going to call you first. You're going to practice with me. I'm in your office. All right, go, Tanner. You're practicing with me.
All right. So ring ring.
Yep. Hello.
Is this Danny, the owner of 123 Main Street?
Yeah. Who's calling?
Danny, this is Tanner. I'm a local real estate expert in the area, and was curious to know if the home has sold or still for sale.
All right, now let's stop just for a second. Does that bull ride of 8 seconds sound rehearsed? It did not sound smooth. I'm saying it, and when rehearsed, meaning I want rehearsed to be a good thing. You sounded tentative. Yes, you guys be ears for me. There's nothing wrong with how you're saying it. I think there's a bunch of combination of words that would work. However, do you believe it has to do with your confidence in the way you present it? There cannot be an what am I thinking I'm going to say? If you've got one line in a school play because you were a tree last year, now they're going to give you one line. Don't screw it up. Tanner, practice it one more time, because the next one's going to be live and it may cost you money. Go.
Got it. Okay. Ring ring.
Hello.
Is this the owner of 123 Main Street?
It is.
This is Tanner here, local real estate agent, and was hoping to find out if the house has sold or still for sale.
Okay. How would you, somebody speak up? How was that? On a scale of 1 to 10, how was it?
Better.
Approved.
Better, yes. Better, or give them 1 to 10.
I think it's better, and I would say a 6. And I think that you know enough from the seller by the way they're talking and answering that they're a high D. So I don't think you should have a lot of space between your words. I think you should try to tighten it up to mirror and match.
So she's saying I'm a D. Aha, thank you. I'll take the compliment. All right. So Tanner, one more time. Go. 8 seconds.
All right. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this Denny, the owner of 123 Main Street?
It is.
Denny, this is Tanner here, you know, in Marco, Ireland. I'm sorry.
Stop. What happened? Here's the thing. So I'm gonna let you go on. However, y'all get my point.
Yeah.
Why don't no one ever screws up the ring ring? Why? Because it's you got it down. You understand. There's some words and some combination of words I stumble on. And listen, all it takes is practice. So we're gonna let you work on that. Let's go to the call now, Jan Lee. And you know what to work on. 1, 2, 3, go.
All right.
Oh, hold on. Can I say something real quick for Tanner?
Yep.
Okay. So when he said hello, you said hi. Typically you want to say hello because that kind of start the rapport building process. Because if he says hello, you said hi, that's not connecting. And then also the face for him, hello, hello. You kind of mirror and match that too.
Well, that's a good point. Tanner, on the call you made when Louise said I'm a D, you wouldn't have known it yet. And you acted like you knew it when you first made the call. So pick up the mirror and matching. One thing that Susan uses in her calls, which I love because it's an old, bold Diana Kokoska script. Ring, ring, hello. Yeah, this is Danny Keller Williams. Thank you for taking my call. Boom. It's kind of a very, I think it's good. You don't have to use it. I like the way Susan says it. I like that. So Tanner, don't add something that you're not comfortable with. Go.
From the beginning or from?
Yeah, from the ring.
Okay,
Ring.
ring.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, is this Jane, the owner of 123 Main Street?
Yes, it is. How can I help you?
Thank you, Jane. This is Tanner. I'm a local real estate expert in the area. I was hoping to find out if you have sold a home yet or it's still for sale.
It's still for sale. Do you have a buyer?
I'm glad to know that you're still looking for one, Jane, and that's the reason I'm calling to see if I can help you. Just curious though, how long has it been for sale so far?
Um,
I'm going to pause you. Would you know that? Is this an expired?
No, this is
a
for
for sale by owner.
Okay, well, let me ask you, is that knowable?
Yes, if
Yeah.
they're finding their property on Zillow, they'll state how many days it's been on Zillow.
So my point is, if you already know that, don't waste a question on something you already know. Now, you can state it. I see you had your home on the market for 60 days. However, my feeling is you only have so many words. Ask the best questions first. Don't ask that if you already know it. Anybody agree with me on that? Sorry to interrupt. Tanner, you're doing really good, though. Really good. Go.
So I'll rephrase the question. So Jen, I see the house has been on the, for sale by you for the past 2 weeks, for 15 days almost. And if you don't mind me asking, once you sell, are you still looking to purchase another one in the area?
No, it's an investment property that I'm trying to get rid of.
Okay. I mean, have you given yourself any time frame?
I mean, I would do it for this springtime. It's gonna sell. I know it's gonna sell.
I see. And Jen, respectfully, I respect what you're trying to do, and I know, and I can really help you. I've done it many, many times. If you don't mind me asking, what would prevent you from hiring an expert to help you get the most money for your house?
I mean, I've sold several homes before, Tanner. So, and I have a real estate attorney that I'm working with. If we go under contract. So, but we're willing to pay 3% for the buyers for the agent who brings us a buyer. So just bring it over.
Again, I appreciate the offer, Jen. And I'm really curious, though, if there was a benefit of working with a professional that would guarantee you make more money at the end, would that be something at least you would look into it? And even if you don't want to move forward, that's absolutely fine.
Whoa, stop. You were asking a pretty good question, then you just took it away from her. Then you turn the camera back on. Any feedback for Tanner? That's like saying, hey, asking a girl out, hey, would you like to go out with me? But if you don't want to go out with me, I don't really blame you. Nobody else does.
Just to disarm, I wanted to come up across like
Don't plant the seed. Any feedback for Tanner?
I thought you did great. I like the questions.
Good.
He's controlling the conversation.
All right, any more? One more feedback before we go to the next one.
So yeah, so he has good content. I would just recommend that he continues working on it, practicing up, shortening up, make it feel like it's his own a little bit more. Get comfortable with it.
And because you have an accent, you might have to be a little bit more diligent on the pronunciation. I didn't even say that right. I mean, you have to be careful on your wordsmithing. One question I'd have you change, though, is that have you given yourself a time frame? that seemed to be an incomplete question. So what you want to do is make sure you don't ask a question where they don't understand it. However, the way that you went off on that, the beginning, the first 15 seconds was the best that you did all day. So awesome. Thank you, Tanner. Jan Lee, going to you, and you're going to be David. What are we doing here?
Do I pick? No, I mean, I'll do another expired. That's, yeah.
All right. Ready, go.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hello, my name is Jan. I'm a local real estate agent. I was calling about that property on 123 Main. Did you guys still want to sell that property?
Yeah, our property's for sale.
Uh-huh. Because it looks like it came off the market today. So I was just wondering, when do you plan on interviewing an aggressive agent to get this sold, to get
All
this
right.
home sold?
Wait a minute. Where'd you go with that question? Now hang on a minute, Jen Lee. You're talking, it looks like you have your hand up by your face. It's not coming out clear, not coming out forceful. Now, can you stand up? All right, and now in that posture, go back to that question again. If you have to have your script in front of you, you can do that.
I don't have any at the moment, but okay. So, David, were you still wanting to sell that property?
As I mentioned, the property is for sale.
Okay, because it looks like it came off the market today. So I was just wondering, when do you plan on interviewing an aggressive agent to get this home sold?
What do you mean it came off the market? I don't understand.
So technically, at this point in time, you don't have a contract with your agent. You weren't aware of that?
No, it sounds like I should give them a call, shouldn't I?
That is so interesting because an agent usually knows what's going on with the property. And so I was just wondering, what was the reason why you were selling this property?
Well, we're downsizing, moving down to Florida.
And so you need to sell this property before you go there?
That's correct.
Okay. And what kind of time frame do you have to get this sold?
3 months ago.
3 months ago. Oh my goodness. And David, so if I could show you right now what we do differently to get this home sold, would you consider meeting with me for about 18 minutes?
Would you be able to just tell me what you do differently?
I can definitely tell you that. However, that's gonna be a disservice to you because there's a lot of things that people may not, that
Time.
I need to see. Okay, hold on.
All right. Any feedback for Jen Lee?
She pushed through.
Then you dwell too much on the other agent thing, where expired or not expired. I would just I understand and move on to the motivation.
Okay, I think that's good feedback. Anything else?
Well, the good is she echoed the way the greeting was, right? And I think she carried through. Well, when she asked if he was interested in hiring an aggressive agent, I felt like her tone and her words didn't match that verb, that adjective.
Okay,
I felt her energy came up a lot when she stood up.
go ahead.
Her energy was a lot more aggressive when she stood up. She was more energetic.
Who else picked that up?
I noticed that, yeah, too. Are you leaning on your desk now, Jan?
Yeah,
Wait,
I have a little bit of cough, so I'm trying to really not,
right.
cough while I'm talking.
I don't know if it would be advantageous for you to record yourself when you're standing versus leaning versus sitting, but when you're standing, your words project better, is what I'm observing.
Yeah, that was a big difference, I thought. Here's my one comment, and we'll get ready to go next. Jan, this is just an observation, and you guys help me out a lot because I listen to a lot. I do this every day, right? Why can't you tell me over the phone what you can do? Well, I would think that maybe an avenue we could go down is there's several reasons why your home may not have sold. And I would like to be able to look at your home to see if there's anything I see inside your home that's causing it not to sell. Or, you know, because, well, there's pictures, yeah, I know, but I cannot sense the space. All I can see is one dimension. So would you like a professional, now there's, we'll say a professional set of eyes. And I'll tell you what, and this could be even a value add. Listen, I have and I think this is something Louise has. She has some sort of 8, 9, 15, 16 step process or whatever it is that you have, all these different points. I'll tell you what, when we meet, I'm going to give you kind of an evaluation, my professional evaluation of your home, things you can do to improve it when you're ready to sell. Maybe you have something like that to give them. Like, okay, if you let me meet with you, I'll give you a free set of Ginsu steak knives, okay? Or something. What do you think of that idea?
Very helpful. Appreciate it.
All right, David. Lucky Ducky, you get to have Susan. What are we doing?
Sale by owner.
Oh my gosh, nobody likes the objections anymore. All right, David. All right,
Well-
Susan, you're an unassisted seller.
Got it.
Ring ring.
Hello?
Hi, I'm calling about the property for sale. Is this the owner?
Yes. Are you not a realtor?
Thank you for taking my call. This is David. I am a local realtor, and I'm just calling to see if you would be open-minded to the idea of working with a realtor if they had a qualified buyer for your property.
If you have a qualified buyer, just bring them in.
That's great. By the way, again, my name is David. What was your name?
I'm Susan.
Hi, Susan. I'd love to see if this is a good fit for any of my buyers. Can you share with me what makes your home special that I'm not able to see from pictures?
Well, it's pretty much very accurate. Just bring me a buyer when you have one.
Oh, thank you. And when this does sell, what's the plan next?
Why do you care?
Well, as a local realtor, it's important that we know maybe you're possibly looking for a property that I'd be able to help you with.
I'm okay.
Okay, Susan, I have to ask though, usually you can make more money officially listing this property with an agent. What made you decide to sell it yourself as a for sale by owner versus listing it?
Well, this is not my first rodeo. I could do this on my own.
And Susan, you know, you sound like a smart and savvy person. If I could just show you that there was a financial benefit to working with me instead of selling it on your own, especially in today's market, is that something that you would consider just 15 minutes of your time? I have today at 5 or tomorrow at 4. What works best for you?
Hi. Will somebody please dial 911? Somebody has taken David and stolen David and put somebody else in his body. Now, that's probably one of the best role plays I've ever heard you do, with energy standing up. You had had some fun. I could sense you were confident. Normally your energy level's a tick on a low level. I thought your energy level was great. I think you stayed on track. I'm just like kind of doing burpees right now in my mind. Did anybody else have any feedback on that? Was that not kind of a good role play, or is it maybe in my imagination?
I mean, he has definitely, you know, mastered it. Then the only difference you could see probably is Susan's high and David is kind of a little bit the opposite. That's what I sense. But other than that, you mastered it, man.
Thanks everyone. Thanks.
Have
Yeah.
you
You did well. You did really
You
well.
didn't imagine it, Danny. That was excellent.
Thank you, Luis. Yeah, thanks everyone. So again, yeah, big difference. I think the time of day is also a big difference. Also, I have been standing up as opposed to sitting down, so that helps. And yeah, we've been trying a couple different scripts and seeing what feels good. And this one I resonate with, so it feels well.
Well, if Matt would ever come back, and Matt heard you, I think Matt would probably give you knuckle bump.
That's great. Glad to hear it.
All right, David. Good. All right, moving right along. I see, Louise, you see some hands up, don't you?
I do.
Who's
We-
that?
I see Brian and Edgar.
Edgar and who? Brian?
Brian Hood. Brian's in the hood. Come on.
Hello, Brian. I see
Brian,
you.
I'll go. Brian's out of practice, so that's another reason I'm here.
All right, you're calling, or what? Edgar, you're going to be the customer. So what are we doing, Brian?
I think I'd like to take one more swing at the expireds. I know everybody's seeing that, and I need work on all of them. So
I think the call first to the expired before I'm sitting in person with them would be okay.
You get a minute and a half to make the appointment. Go.
Okay. Who am I working with, by the way? I'm sorry.
Edgar.
Hey,
Okay. Ring, ring.
hello?
Hi, my name's Brian. I'm with Keller Williams. I'm an agent here in Marco Island. I'm trying to reach the owner of 123 Main Street.
This is him.
This is Edgar.
That's correct.
Great, Edgar. How are you today, sir?
Fantastic. Yourself?
I'm well. Hey, I was noticing in the MLS that you have a listing at 123 Main and your listing has expired. Were you planning on relisting that property?
Expired. What do you mean by that?
Well, your your listing contract with the current agent has expired.
So you're saying it's not for sale no more?
I'm saying your contract's not valid. Your agent didn't make you aware of this?
No, I haven't talked to my agent in about a week.
Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that, Edgar. Well, I'll tell you what, if I could get just a few minutes of your time, I'd like to make an appointment, come over, and I'd like to talk to you more about why you think your property didn't sell.
Gotcha. Is there something you can tell me over the phone?
I'm going to stop right there.
Uh-oh.
You stop right there. I mean, if I don't, I won't remember things I'm saying. I mean, I'm kind of liking the pace and the tone. For those people who make a lot of expired calls, what percentage of sellers don't know when you talk to them that their home is no longer on the market? I'm taking a wild, I mean, I don't know.
Zero.
The most percent.
Zero. I've never had anybody tell me they don't know.
Well, this is what I'm thinking. The probability that you are the first call, if you're the 10th call, do you think they already know? So I tell you what, if that doesn't come up very often, so sellers, when you're on the role play here, let's not use that, because I don't know that we can, if we're practicing something that won't happen, it won't help us. The only thing I would say, Brian, is that, and I know I cut you off at 1 minute, I'll let you have another 30 or 40 seconds if you want, is asking for the appointment, have a conversation why it didn't sell. What's going through my mind is, would you like to have a conversation on how we can get it sold? Do you think the candy might be better than the stick?
Okay.
So I'll let you pick it up. Edgar, you're doing a great job. And maybe rephrase that question, and I'll give you another 30 seconds and see what happens.
Okay. So Edgar, hang on.
I know.
Edgar, would you like to have a conversation about maybe why your property didn't sell?
I think we're going to stop that one, right? Would you like to have a conversation how you can get it sold?
Oh, I got to go. Okay. I was going negative.
Yeah.
Okay. Edgar, would you like to meet and have a conversation on how we could get your property sold?
Well, can you tell me over the phone why you think it didn't sell?
Well, I don't know. I'd have to come out and take a look at the property. I'd like to see them in person so I can see all the features. So that would help me out a lot. Only takes a few minutes.
Okay.
Edgar, what would be a good time to do that?
You tell me. I'm pretty busy, so shoot me a couple times.
Okay, Edgar, how about today at 3 p.m.? I'll be over, we'll take a walk through, I'll bring some materials, and we'll talk about the pricing of your home.
Could you do tomorrow at 5 instead?
Tomorrow at 5. We can do that.
Minute 44. Any feedback for Brian Hood?
For me, what I'm hearing was that he's giving the seller a lot of options. Would you like to meet with me? For me, it's more like you need to meet with me right now to get it sold.
Okay.
That's all. Yeah.
All right. Give me
So
another.
I like Brian's energy. He knows what he's doing, very confident. However, I don't like when he used the word expire. I heard him like 3-4 times in the first 30 seconds. It really has a bad connotation. I would just say it currently is off the market. And then I would go in and say, hey, what put that on the radar? why you know, what put selling your home on the radar. And then if they say, why do you want to know? I said, well, people don't just wake up one morning and decide to sell a home. What's happening in your world?
Yeah, I don't like the word expired either. It's no longer for sale. And anyway, so good feedback. Any more? One more. I'll take one more and we'll move on.
I thought he had good energy. I was trying to get him to give me two time frames when I kind of give him the opening.
Yeah. Well, you could tell you were playing it pretty cool there, Edgar. You're gonna give him the appointment. Yeah, Brian, be careful. When you tend to keep adding to the question because of the nervousness, or you're a little bit nervous asking the close, which is natural. Just ask it and let it, hey, you want to go have a milkshake?
Okay, and
Yeah.
I don't have a script in front of me, so I'm trying to do it off, on the fly, and it's obviously not working too well.
What? No script? We're on recon. We're on the golf course. You didn't bring your golf clubs? All right, Edgar, you're up next. And who is Edgar playing with, Louise?
Edgar's playing with me.
There we go. What do you want to practice, Edgar?
Audio expired. That's what I'm calling today.
Oh boy. Okay.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, this is Edgar with Keller Williams, a local realtor. Is your house on, oh, sorry. Forgot what I was doing. Sorry. I got him confused. Hi, is this the owner of West Willow Road?
It is, yes.
Hi, this is Edgar. I'm an agent here with Keller Williams. Did you know that your house is currently off the market for sale?
Yeah, it's been off of the, we took it down 3 months ago.
Okay, fantastic. And when you had it on the market 3 months ago, what was the reason for it?
We were moving to a new school district.
Gotcha. Are you still planning on moving to a new school district?
No, we changed our minds.
She wants to move to Wellington.
I do. I really do.
Keep going. Sorry, Edgar.
I'm stuck right there when she said she's not willing to sell 3 months ago.
All right. Well, this could be this is a real thing. So what might you say? Well, I'm going to pause the time.
This is what I would say. Well, Edgar, had your home sold 3 months ago, where were you moving to? Like, bring them back to, and Susan knows where I'm coming from because I think she and I both listen to the same person. Had your home sold 3 months ago, where were you moving to? Like, bring them back to their original motivation.
Okay. So Louise, if your home had sold 3 months ago, where were you planning on moving to?
We were going to get a Wellington.
Gotcha. What's taking you over to Wellington?
Oh, well, we were going to put our kids in a new school district.
Got it. And what would that have done for them moving to the new school district?
What was that question?
What would having them in a new school district do for them?
It would mean a shorter drive to drop off and pick up for my husband.
Fantastic. Well, are you still looking to maybe have that shorter drive in the near future?
I'm sure he would like it, but we didn't get them in time and school's already started. So I guess we are where we are for now.
You got me stuck again.
Well, how about let me ask you, if that could happen now, is that something you would like?
It is, yeah.
All right. So now she would still like to be in Wellington. So if that's the case, then where would you go with that? Edgar, anybody?
I'm sorry.
So, well, if there is a way that could happen, you said you'd want to do it. So would it be worth it us having a conversation and let me look at your house and I'll tell you straight up if it's possible to do it in this market or not. I got to quit running on. So would you like to meet, or that's a yes or no? So would it be worthwhile meeting?
So Louise, if that could still happen, would it be worthwhile 15-minute time to see if that could still happen?
I don't think it would hurt. I think that, yeah. I mean, if you really think it could happen, sure.
Yeah, well, I'd love to meet either today at 3 or tomorrow at 4. What time works best for you?
There you go. Then you got the appointment. All right, good job. All right, Louise, you get to play. And who are you playing with?
Susan.
I knew you were gonna do that. And what are we doing besides expired? You're muted now.
I am. Well, I besides expired, okay. I like
Do
expired.
expired. I said you could do expired.
Okay, cool. Let's do an expired.
There we go. And you're gonna call Dr. Lauren's in finally. She's been knocking on the door for 30 minutes. Dr. Lauren, you're driving, can you come off mute, be a
Or
seller?
am I calling Susan? I thought I was calling
Oh,
Susan.
no, you're calling Susan. Dr. Lauren, you're on
Yeah,
deck.
I think I'm next. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hi, I'm Louise White. I'm local realtor Louise Weiss. Is this the owner of 123 Banana Boulevard?
Yes, it is. Are you another realtor?
I am, absolutely. Yes, ma'am. I'm calling because I
Getting
see
so
your
much
home.
calls.
Pardon me?
I'm getting so much calls. How do you even get my number?
Oh, believe it or not, it's public record. I'm curious, how many calls have you received?
Hundreds. You guys
know-
said nonstop.
Were you aware that your home is no longer on the market?
Yeah, we decided not to sell it anymore.
Got you, got you. Well, I'm curious, if it had sold, where would you have moved to?
Does it really matter? It didn't sell.
Well, it could matter. I mean, if you had listed it to go somewhere else, if that could still happen, would that be something you're interested in having and hearing about?
Well, to be true, the last agent that didn't do much. So I think I'm gonna sell it on my own, but we're not doing anything for the time being.
Okay, so when are you thinking of revisiting? Wait, so have you completely given up on the project of selling your home?
No,
Okay. And when are you planning to resume the project?
maybe half a year from now.
Half a year from now? Okay. And would it, I'm actually going to be in your neighborhood.
Time. Ah,
I was going to try to say I'm going to happen to be there. Can I just pop by and talk about what may have caused it not to sell? And I would try to get in and be the front runner for the next time she puts it on the market.
all right, any feedback? Any feedback for Louise?
I like her objection handler because I do get that a lot. Like, well, how did you get my number? And she pretty much just say broker, and then she went right into another question. Like literally, I like the way you just brush it away and then just went on to your question, like trying to take back up the conversation.
I've been practicing that because I haven't been doing a good job of that. Thank you.
So you said it was on the, everything's on the internet, that you just went on it with your
I
comment.
said it's public record because it is the way I find them.
Yeah, okay. Any other feedback?
I think
Yes.
towards the end, the energy a little bit slowed down. I'm not sure if it was kind of, I don't know why, but the energy just slowed down a little bit, Louis. And as a D, Susan, you're a D person basically. When you mentioned there's a lot of people call you 100 people, I would have probably asked you, how would you feel if you could stop those calls? I would just like go to and take it.
I don't use that because I think it's very cheesy. Um,
I knew you'd say that. That's why I wanted to say it, but I didn't say it to you because I thought
Yeah.
you'd say it.
it's just too cheesy. I never would say that. I wouldn't know how. I wouldn't even say that to the expired calls that I make. I understand how I would handle that. I understand. It seems to me that you're getting annoyed with these calls. So how can I help you? Probably that's how I would handle it. How can I help you?
Can I run something by you, Susan? When I heard that too, I thought that was kind of an opportunity, and I'll just share this with you. You tell me what you think. So I've had hundreds of calls. All right, so this is how I'd phrase it. Well, that suggests you're in a very popular area and have in a very marketable area. Are you not puzzled by having hundreds of calls now and you had very few before?
I like that. The problem is if the price, a lot of the homes are overpriced, that's why they become expired. It's not the seller, it's not the buyer, right? But if you say that your neighborhood is very popular, then you're setting themselves up and you do get this appointment and they're having this dialogue with you. Now, how are you gonna have to, if my house if my neighborhood is very popular, how are you as an agent going to bring the price down? How are you gonna handle that?
Well, first, am I going to worry about that on the phone? No, I have to have the appointment. And so now maybe I have, here's my, well, I tell you what, If we can spend 20 minutes together, let me see your house. I've got a 4-point checklist here. And when we're finished, you'll know exactly why it didn't sell. Again, I'm available this afternoon and I only need 30 minutes. All right, so now we should take some time right now and have some conversations around that, because you're right, Susan, if the home did not sell, it was probably 90% it's overpriced, correct? So now how do you have that conversation at the table? Do you mind if we switch the conversation for the last 20 minutes here to that? We good?
Yeah.
So Susan, you are now the agent. And we've got, who's going to be the one at the table? Louise.
Dr. Lauren, right?
Yeah, Dr. Lauren, you're next. You able to talk?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So you're at the table. You had the appointment. You've had hundreds of people calling. It's been on the market 6 months. And you're gonna have a 3-minute conversation here, and let's see how Susan handles it and brings in price.
So I'm at
Okay.
the table, right?
Yeah,
I'm at
you
her
can turn
house.
the camera on. You can turn the camera on.
I'm sorry, I'm at the table now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've been receiving calls, and yeah, right. That's the skip.
Yeah, and she made the appointment. She's looked at your home. She's sitting down at the table now.
So we're
Okay.
talking about price. So thank you for, Dr. Lauren, this is the price point that we're looking at. This is the range. What do you think your price of the house would be to cause it to sell?
Well, I would like to get more than that top number. So ideally, I'd like to kind of start high, and then if we get lower offers, at least it'll land kind of right where I want it to be. I don't want to start lower.
This is
Sure.
expired. This is expired listing, so it's been on the market once. What was it on the market at? It's your house, Lauren.
550.
So are we overpriced at like 90,000, 50?
And Susan's in California, so you could buy a 1-bedroom with no bath.
Oh my gosh. Jesus. All right. A million.
So 1
On the market at
million,
$1 million.
and you're looking at like say 850?
850?
No, 850 to cause it to sell, right? Let's say the average home price in your neighborhood. Okay. Dr. Lauren, you tried to sell a home 6 months ago at this price. It didn't sell. And that's what the market is responding to us. What do you think that's going to cause it to sell?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I can still maybe get that number. Spring is coming. I know that's a pretty hot time. I think I would rather just wait.
Mm-hmm. So if you're waiting, how long are you waiting before you decide the right price?
I really want to be out of here by August at the latest. School starts in September. I don't really want to be moving my kids around. But I think I can get more during the spring market.
Well, in any market, in any type of market, seller's market, buyer's market, the home will sell. And what's really going to sell is pricing. And if you feel that you want to move in by August, honestly, by putting the same price on the market, it's not going to help you. You're just going to waste your time. And then you're going to go through this process again.
All right. What about you said 850 is what's going around in this area. What if I drop my million to 950? How does that sound?
We can try that, but I'm not going to guarantee anything. You can try that, but I'll probably call you and give you the market set and let you know what's happening.
I'm going to call time out for a second. My heart is breaking.
I know that's not me.
Yeah,
I don't talk like that. I actually.
Not following the model.
I have it up behind me.
Yeah.
So whether or not you want to use the 3 outcome sheet or not, she wants to list it at 950. Let me ask you guys a question, my disciples. I hope I have 12, or at least no Judas. If she wants to list it at 950, go from $1 million down to 950, what's going to happen next, guys?
One of 3 things.
What 3 things?
Either I get offer and it sells,
Yeah,
We
give
got
me an
not,
order.
No
oh, no,
offers,
the other
no
way.
phone calls, no
An order.
showing, no phone calls.
Showings, no offers.
First one is what? Low to no showings.
low to no showings,
Showings and no offers and the property
showings and
sell.
no offers, and the property sells.
What if she wants to list it at $899? What will happen?
Same thing.
One of three things.
One of three things.
So the issue is when you go over there and she says, well, okay, now Susan, I'm going to step in as a seller for a moment. Remember, I had a bad experience one time. Would you take, I'll ask everybody this, would you, on any circumstances, if it expired at $1 million and it was on the market 6 months, would anyone here refuse to take it at $1 million?
I don't think I would.
I wouldn't. I'd take it.
I would.
I would take it because who knows if the other agent used the fish analogy? Who knows if the other
Take it-
agent
Take it and
advised
give me the
them?
three outcomes.
Yeah, who knows if the other agent advised them?
Or would you say, hey, if we can agree, if we agree to list your house for that price, will you hire me today? Knuckle bump and then go into the conversation.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Get them to lock in, right?
My heart
Yep.
is beating again. My heart is beating again. So the issue is this. I know on the surface, it looks like if it didn't sell at $1 million, most likely it's not going to sell again at $1 million. However, here's the thing. If they want, Lauren kept saying, but I really think I can get it. Well, again, the model is that I teach. Okay, well, if we agree today to list it at $1 million. Lauren, go ahead. Louise, you said it perfectly. Go ahead. What is it?
If we agreed today to list at $1 million, are you prepared to hire me now?
Yes.
Absolutely. Oh, sorry, Denny.
That's okay. Yeah. Well, let's go for it. Now what? Louise?
Do I have your permission to talk about the three outcomes that we'll see once we put it on the market?
Right. So you say, all right. Go ahead, David.
Do you mind if I tell you what's going to happen next?
Yeah, well, that's the words exactly. All right, you knuckle bump. Here's what I teach, and this is kind of a big thing, and I don't know if whoever you teaches it, they probably don't. Get the commitment, then have the conversation. Write that down. Get the commitment, they're going to work. And again, there's one more thing. So when you can still back away. For example, I had a conversation with someone in the last week or so where the seller had no motivation. If I don't get that number and it was obviously high, they're not going to do anything. If you have a seller with no motivation and the wrong number, and there's no ancillary benefits, then you have it, meaning you can have it, maybe pick up some open houses, etc., and pick up some buyers. I understand. But if a seller has motivation, I'm saying get the commitment, then have the conversation with them, because sooner or later, they will capitulate if you tell them the three outcomes and you follow up with them on that. I see the heads bobbing. Susan, I know way out there in California. You think that might work?
Yeah.
I don't think that sounds very convincing to me.
Hey, Denny,
Yeah.
would you mind going through the conversation if we can, from that point on, if we can agree? And I'm gonna.
All right, you're gonna give me a little. You're gonna give me some left-hand turns or something.
No, I'm going to translate it later so I can get it word for word.
Okay, awesome. So, all right, so you want so you basically it's been on the market. So you really think you can still get $1 million? Is that what you feel, Louise?
I think so.
All right. Well, then let me ask you. If we agree right now that your initial asking price is going to be $1 million, are you ready to move forward with me right now?
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome, knuckle bump. So I'm not going through the contract, and it's a gentleman's agreement, knuckle bump. Now that we've agreed to work together, now that you've agreed to hire me, however you want to say that, do you mind if I tell you what's going to happen next? See, David, you picked up on that because I think that's very strong. Who doesn't want to know what happens going to happen next? I want to know what's going to happen next. I want to know who's going to win the football game on Sunday. I want to know all the future crap. Who's going to say no? All right, so awesome. All right, so when we listed $1 million, one of three things are going to happen. There's the sheet. Now you can go back over it. You can go back over the history of it. Let's just assume we're not going to do that. You're going to get the word for word. Outcome number one. And somebody who has a stopwatch, not Louise, because she's taking notes. Time me on this.
I can time you. I'm recording it. I've got a timer.
Okay, this is no more than 30 or 40 seconds. Outcome number one is low to no showings. Don't forget the low. You can't say no showings because you had one showing in 6 months. I only had a showing. So low to no showings, which means basically our bait is too high and the fish are below that. Outcome two is we have showings and no offers, or maybe a low offer. We're the bridesmaid, not the bride. The solution is a minor repositioning. Outcome number three, it sells. Does that make sense to you?
That was 15 seconds.
How many?
15.
Oh, I'm getting good.
And it didn't sound rushed either. It was
No.
good tempo.
Now then you then take it. The next step is, okay, so here's the next question. Are you still recording?
I am now.
All right, then Louise, what are you going to do if the market says no to 1 million?
We'll need to reposition it.
Okay. And so we're going to have a follow-up call every week. And we'll talk about the number of showings and what's happening. And so I'm just kind of curious. You said you wanted to be in Wellington before the school year ended, right?
Yes.
And when does the school year end?
May.
So we have to get right on it. It's always we have to get right on it. Oh, don't worry, we got a lot of time. There's one more thing I want you guys to remember. Because you want to be the local economist of choice, you need to know what direction your market's moving. Because if there's downward pressure, we've had it, now interest rates are falling, maybe there's not as much downward pressure, but you should know, write down the words market risk. There's always market risk. Even if the market's flat, even if the market's moving up, what's market risk? How about a hurricane? How about a war? How about a Gulf oil spill? How about 9/11? How about COVID? There's always something that can disrupt a quote sure thing. So if you have a winning lottery ticket and you don't cash it in, every day you hold that ticket, you risk losing it, right?
Yes.
So if you have a seller that wants to be stubborn, and by the way, and you're in a downward moving market, that means your house is worth less every day. The other thing you want to determine if that seller is going to be a buyer. I've done enough talking, so let somebody else handle this. Let's say the seller wants a high price for their home. The market's saying no. However, they also want to buy. She wants to buy in Wellington. So David, how would you handle that as the agent? How would you handle a seller wanting to be a buyer? A stubborn seller who wants to be a buyer?
Do you need to sell in order to buy?
All right, great question.
Yes, we do. We need the proceeds from this house.
So then essentially it's the question, do you want to sell high and buy low?
I would love to sell high and buy low. Absolutely.
Did you ask that right?
Yeah, I don't think he meant to ask that question.
No, I didn't. That's not what I was asking.
Unless it's stocks, then I want to buy low and sell high.
So, all right, so break it down. So you're looking at Wellington. What's going on with the price of homes in Wellington?
What
Yeah.
if the price?
Go ahead.
What if the home that you're going to buy increases in price while you wait to get this home sold?
Well, that wouldn't be the ideal scenario.
Right. So.
Well, wait a minute, Lauren. Go back to when I asked for the question, what's going on with the price of homes in Wellington? I didn't lead her into I want her to say they're going up.
Oh, you want her to say, got it, got it.
Well, it looks like they're going up.
Okay. And so while you wait, because our bait isn't in the water, because you want a number that the market's saying no to, while you're waiting here, the homes in Wellington are going up in price. Do you see that as a win or a loss?
Not in my favor.
That's how you would do it. Now, if they're selling the investment property, it's a different conversation. But you guys are catching on. So we have 7 more minutes. Who wants
Hey.
go? What?
At the risk of getting a not so nice call after this, I'm gonna say that I see Z's imaginary hand. It's so great to see her on the call.
Yes, it is. Z.
Everyone on the call, but I rarely see Z.
I was on the call the last time you were in Arizona.
I was at Glover U. Yep.
Wait, Louise, you were at Glover U? I did not see you there.
You didn't see me among the 1,000 agents? Dr. Lee? We need to coordinate next time.
Yeah, we should. We
Back
should.
to role play.
Yeah,
Danny,
sorry.
looking at us.
All right, Z. You're the agent.
Louis.
What do you want to practice?
Thanks, Louise. I get you. I got you. I guess let's stay with expire.
All right, you're gonna call, let's see, Canner's got his hand up. I don't know if that's new or a recycle. Oh, I tell you what, go to Paul. Paul hasn't played yet. Paul, you're gonna be the seller.
Okay.
All right, ready, Z?
Ready.
Ring, ring.
All right. Hi, Paul. Okay. Hi, Paul. This is Z with KW. I am calling you regarding your home, 123 Main Street. It just went off the market. Are you aware?
Yes, yeah, I'm aware. We're just trying to decide what to do next.
Okay. Hey, if this home would have sold, where would you have moved to?
We're just looking to move on to the lake.
Oh, beautiful. Where?
Here in Michigan. We're in Howell.
Okay, awesome. And now what's taking you to Howell, Michigan on the lake?
Just want to we had a house on the water years ago, and we just want to get out of the subdivision and back on the water somewhere.
That's beautiful. And I know this house didn't sell, but how soon will you want to get to Howell on the lake?
We'd love to be there by summer.
Beautiful. And we're in June. Sorry. You want to be there by the summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Are you familiar with the technique I use we use to sell thousands of homes, and it would be an honor to show it to you.
Well, our other agent was a Keller Williams agent, and is there a difference?
Well, I understand the other agent was a KW agent. Everyone is different. Are you aware of that?
No, I guess I wasn't aware of that, but my agent, I mean, they sell all kinds of houses.
Okay, well, that's why you need to try someone different. Just because they were KW agent, that don't mean we're the same. Don't you agree?
I don't know if I agree. What do you do different?
Well, that's what we need to meet. What day are you available? Today at 5 p.m. or tomorrow at 2 to discuss
Can
that?
you just tell me over the phone what you're going to do different than my agent?
I would love to show it. I would love to tell you over the phone. However, showing you would be much impressive than telling you over the phone. Don't you agree?
Time. So what do you think? Let's get some feedback to Z. Paul, go Lions. I'm not really happy about the Lions last week.
Yeah, I knew you weren't. That's why I put it up there.
I know.
I know how. Well, we're gonna win this week. How about that, Danny?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
I'm rooting for you. So give Z some feedback here in the last minute or two.
I think great pace and resilience. She definitely did not stumble with any of the objections. She just kept going. And I like the fact she was asking questions after every question, not just make the question, the statement.
Yeah,
Okay.
she definitely did a good job following up with the question. I think she could have gone in where she said not everyone's the same. She could have gone into that a little bit further with it. I often use a teacher example where basically you ask them, say, hey, I'm sure you obviously when you went through school, you had some teachers that you liked, right? And he would say, yes, obviously. And then you had some teachers that maybe you didn't like so well, right? And then kind of go down that lane and demonstrating to them that just because they're all teachers doesn't mean they're all the same. Just because we're all realtors doesn't mean we're all the same. That's an analogy that I often use to address that point.
That's a very good analogy. Couple of points I had down. I mean, obviously, you have a very pleasant voice, smile a lot, that comes through. You use beautiful, overused from a tie down standpoint. So watch we don't get too repetitive. And it seems like on the role play, we always hear, well, why can't you tell me over the phone? And I don't think, I think you can, you guys should have a better answer for that. You're almost afraid when that comes, then, well, yeah, I could tell you, but it's better if I show you. I don't think we're making a compelling argument. I really think, and that I think there's something missing. See, homes don't sell for several reasons. Sometimes it's on the owner, sometimes it's on the agent. It's never on the market. So again, I would like to look at your home and see it from the eyes of a buyer and maybe give you some pointers that have nothing to do with price. So again, it's a 15-minute conversation. Would that be worthwhile to you? I mean, how can they say, well, can't you tell me over the phone? No, I just said I can't look at your home as a buyer. No one's ever said that before, although that's part of the listing presentation. I'd love to be able to walk through your home and see it from the eyes of the buyer. By the way,
So what about asking? I mean, if you're talking to somebody, would you ever ask them what kind of action, for lack of a better word, they've had over the last 3 months?
well,
And if they say,
well, action, you're asking activity, right?
yeah.
Well, okay, so if you ask that, then I wouldn't say action. What kind of activity you had in the last 3 months? And well, we've had a lot of showings. There's been a lot of open houses. What would you do with the information?
Well, in that case, if you said you had a lot of showings, then I would say, well, then obviously the house is appealing to a lot of buyers, at least from the pictures and the presentation that was online. But something when they're seeing the house in person is causing them to not make an offer. I'd love to see the house in person, and go from there.
Yeah, you could do that. Again, it's a dangerous hole to go down. However,
Okay.
you can spin it that way. One last comment I'll make. How about, isn't it stronger? Rather, I'd love to see it. I would need to see it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a doctor's going to want to examine you. Seriously, I've got a splinter somehow in my foot, and I can't even see it. Right? I can just step on it and it hurts. How can I call a doctor? Hey, doctor, what about the splinter in my foot? What's he going to say?
Let me see it.
The doctors don't prospect for foot surgery business, though. I mean, you go to them. This is the other side, Danny. No, I always hate that doctor thing. We scored 70 on a test to get this job. We didn't go to medical school for 12 years.
80.
All right. Well, anyone here, if you're not rooting for a team, you can root for the Lions because there's only been 180 years since they've been in.
Denny, no.
But like close to that, like 50.
1957,
No,
Denny.
32 years, people. Come on.
Oh, 30.
No, champions. We're going for champions.
Go
They
for
all say
championship.
I am rooting for Detroit.
You've heard him say the blind lion finds this acorn every now and then. So, all right, you guys, love you, mean it. Thanks for being on.
Awesome.
If I can help you in any way, always reach out to me. All right.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Denny.
Thanks, Danny.
Thanks, Denny. This was great.